Hello, hello, what up, what up, what up? It's Michelle Eldridge. Welcome to another Facebook Live, YouTube Live, wherever you're seeing this. I am super excited like this. Y'all, I ain't slept in days, but I am too excited to care because this is going to be incredible. This is history in the making. I want you guys, as you hop on, tell us where you're tuning in from. Comment that. I want to make sure I can even see them. Why am I not on that already? Hello, hello. So this is like a huge deal. If you have a home-based business, you want to share this with your team. You want to share this like everywhere. Tag your friends. Everybody is going to need to be on this 1000%. And I'm going to do a giveaway at the end of this. So if the more you share and you let us know that you have, just comment it below or tag some people. I'll see that you have. That'll get you in the giveaway and it'll be awesome. Okay. So if you can't tell, I'm a little excited about the people over here. They are Larry and Taylor Thompson. If you do not know them, you are missing out. Like, you have got to have never looked up any kind of training as far as in this industry, and they are just the best humans that you could ever possibly meet on the planet. So I am just honored to have you guys here. How are you?
We're doing great, Michelle. Thank you so much for having us on today. What an incredible special day. We're super excited to be here.
Yeah, with all your group, it is good for me to see you. I haven't seen you in forever, so I appreciate that.
I know, it's been way too long. I can't wait for in-person stuff to start again. I feel like I just need it.
Yes, I need it too. I need that connection. I need that. I'm tired of virtual. I need a hand touch. I need
exactly.
a real touch.
At least
no finger guns or hand times. So you guys, I want to respect your time. So they have a huge surprise, and I want you to know that you are like me too. Like, we're privileged in that, like, Larry has 50 plus years in this industry, and they are willing to share this surprise with us as well. All of you, all of my people, and I'm just super grateful. So I want them to go ahead, without further ado, big drum roll, share the surprise with all of you.
Well, we're super excited, and thank you so much. So I'm gonna pick up the ball here because we just got off. Today is a special day. This has been 40 years in the making, right? You talked about 53 years, but this is a book that's been 40 years in the making. It's been a year-long project of mine, and I'm super excited to announce today is the official launch of the Millionaire Training. And we're so excited. I'll tell you a little bit about this, Michelle. Millionaire Training, and for those of you who've never heard it, it goes back 40 years. It's actually going to have its 40th birthday in February 21st of next year. 40 years. Now, this training was the very first training that Larry did in Herbalife as vice president of sales for Herbalife International. And it was a training that Mark Hughes, the founder and owner, had named this training the Millionaire Training. And we just did actually a live launch with all these contributors, and I'll talk about that here in just a second. But one of the gentleman that was on our live, he was actually sitting in that meeting. His distributor application was number 86 in Herbalife International, still a distributor with Herbalife to this day. But that training right there became world renowned. And I say that, and I say that not bragging. I say that because it was at a time there was no social media. There was no internet. There was no your fingertips. Getting your hands on an audio cassette, which is really what it was. It was audios that was inside the distributor kits. And that was their training. They were basic business building principles that Larry was taught 53 years ago. And this training was this is the transcription of the original training. But what makes this so special is that what we did was we took all the stories of all the people that trained under Millionaire Training that have gone on to create their own legacies with their own companies, and building their own leadership brands and building their fortunes. And I'll share a little bit of them. Jeff Roberti, number one in the network, $100 million man, right?
Like, everybody, like, stop 1 second.
Yeah.
If you don't know who Jeff Roberti is, you gotta look him up. Okay. Yeah. Imagine, because she says it real fast, $100 million man. But I want you to really let it sink in what those numbers were. And that's in commissions.
Yeah.
Okay. So just wanted to interject. But
it's true. I mean, sometimes you hear those numbers and they can kind of go across the brain.
Yeah.
We have Lisa Grossman. A lot of you know Lisa Grossman. She's number one and Prove It. We have let's see, Frank McKahey. We have Dan Waldron. We have Rolf Sorg, who his company, he learned how to speak English listening to Larry's training tapes.
Uh-huh.
And his company just hit $1 billion in sales in 2019. Larry's second company to hit $1 billion in business.
Are y'all hearing? Like, can you fathom $1 billion business? I mean, truly, because a lot of us, I feel like they think 6 figures, and even that is a dream, right? And then they get, like, the vision continues to grow, but it's hard to fathom it. So I want it to really sink in what you have, like you could put it in your hand. You can have it in your hand. Like, just remember.
So there's Jeff Roberti. There's Lisa Grossman. Oh, can you see who that is right there?
Yes.
Ray and Jessica Higdon. This is before Rankmakers.
I can tell.
Before they were married.
Oh, they look like babies.
They were just babies. Like, they were just, I mean, so Ray is a contributing author here in the book. A lot of you know him. Dan McCormick, Top 10 New Skin. Dan Stamen, co-venture or co-owner of World Ventures. John Solander, number one Muniteg. Jay Bennett, number one of Isagenix. I mean, like, these are the stories that built this space. But I keep talking. I want Larry to talk.
Hey, listen,
I'm excited.
She is excited.
We're all excited.
Yeah, it's a real honor and a privilege to be here with you and your community here, Michelle. And listen, we're excited to talk about the book. Okay, we really are excited about it. I got to get it in view here. Okay, it was an upside down. But I don't know if I can do it. Anybody could do it. I mean, that's what that proved. But for me, I feel very fortunate because I met some very interesting people 53 years ago. I used to be in construction work. I was a long-haired hippie construction worker. Not unusual today, but 53 years ago, highly unusual. Long-haired hippies didn't work, okay, back then. And I came to my very first meeting to find out about, I didn't know it was network marketing or multi-level. I didn't know what it was. But the only reason I went to that meeting that night, well, there was a couple of reasons. Number one was Mike Fuller was a friend of mine, a fellow construction worker, but he was a little bit older than the team that I work with. And he had a couple of houses that he rented out and stuff. And he always had money for the lunch truck. You know what I mean? We're always borrowing from him. So that was pretty cool that someone like him would talk to someone like me about a business opportunity. But the real reason I went was he said we were going to go to the Hyatt Hotel, which was a real fancy hotel in San Jose. It was on the intersection of 101 and First Street there in San Jose. I don't know what's there now, but that's what was then. And I'd never been in a hotel before in my entire life. Okay. And
wow.
Something cool. The long-haired hippie gets to go to a business meeting and gets to go to a hotel. And they have that porte cochere, you know how you drive your car underneath there and they open your doors. That was the reason I went to that meeting. We got there, and it was real interesting because nobody wanted me there. It'd be like having a homeless person with a cart pushing down the street, sitting next to your negative brother-in-law who's an accountant and a lawyer. They didn't want me. I didn't. I know, and so you understand that. I mean, that was okay. And so when I heard your story, I identified very well with it. And at that meeting, two very significant things happened to me that just changed not only my life, but it changed the whole network marketing world as it became. And the person giving that meeting that night was a gentleman by the name of Bobby Depew, Robert Depew. And Bobby is original strategist and tactician in network marketing. And he used to be a school teacher. And so he had a unique way of communicating to people and bringing them in. And I felt like, even though I was really out of place at that meeting, I felt like he made me feel welcomed, appreciated, okay? And it's like he was only talking to me. That's how I felt at that meeting. And so he went through the whole thing, and it was very fascinating to me because what got me was the very end, because I didn't believe anything could happen to me like they were talking about. And he said, you know, it's obvious that we're making a lot of money here. I said, you can tell that. And he says, I'd like to promise you that you guys can make this money too. He said, but I can't. He said, but I can promise you a couple of things. He said, number one, other people are doing it. And number two, we'll share with you exactly how they're doing it. And number three, if it only turns out 10% for you, it turned out for us, it's going to be the greatest thing that ever happened to you.
Yeah.
For me, the long-haired hippie who flunked English in high school 2 years in a row because I was too shy to give the oral book report, I could tell you the color of your shoes, but not your eyes. And I faulted. He said, only 10%. I could accept that. I couldn't take 90%. I could accept the 10%. And I said, I'll give it a try. But the other significant thing that happened at night, at that very same meeting that joined the same company the same night as I did, guess who it was? Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn and I joined the same company, the same meeting, the same night. Jim very quickly became vice president of sales and marketing and training. And Bobby and Jim put me under their wings because, quite frankly, they figured, listen, if we can get this guy to succeed, we can just point to him and all these three-piece suit, real estate salesman, insurance salesman, cigar smoking, white shoes, Cadillac driving, whiskey drinking guys. That's all.
Yeah.
At the meetings. You know,
yeah.
And then to figure if we can get this guy to make it, we can always have an example.
And you know what, Michelle? That's exactly what they did to you too, isn't it?
That's it right there.
Yeah. And that was a motivating factor for me. And that's why I've always identified with you, because similar backgrounds as far as difficulties that we had. And just
being the outsider, regardless, you know, and people thinking no matter what, if that kind of person can do it, well, anybody can. And it's facts. It is true, 100%.
Yeah.
And that's what happened in this book here that we just launched. And we had all the contributors on here. These are just regular, everyday people, just like us. I talk about the 80, 15, and 5 rule all the time. We all started at 80%ers. Okay.
Well, everybody, if you don't know what that means and you lead yourself, you lead a team of 1, 10. I don't care. If you don't start with that concept, you need to get started, because if I hadn't had it from the jump, I wouldn't have anyone like on my team. And my team, I'll tell you right now, very few ever leave. And I have people who have left, but they come back.
Yes.
Right. So
And
whichever way it's going to let me point here, this is it right here, folks.
well, and Michelle, you did such a great job because of exemplifying, you know, the Thompson rule, because that's your heart, right? You do such a great job of building that culture of being inclusive and not exclusive. And I really believe, you know, outside of your work ethic really points to a lot of your success, because you know what it's like to not be included.
That right there, that's it. And that's what my whole team is like.
Yes.
You know, they say that your vibe attracts your tribe. It really does. And the fact is, I would say 90% or more of people feel like they're the outsider or the misfit or the whatever. And so they fit right in with us.
Yeah.
Because we've all felt that way. And so when we bring them in and we love them regardless, if we celebrate them making their bed, if that's their goal for the day, they stay. Why would they leave? Because they're loved, you know? But everybody, like, that concept, it's easy to say, but it's not as easy to just do unless you follow like most people, I don't know what it is, they flip some stuff in it. Like, they're like, okay, well, how do I change them? No, that you can't. Like I started out an 80%er. I think y'all did too, right? Yeah. And the vision changed for me, but nobody did it for me. Like, you couldn't have made me. You probably would have made me quit.
Yeah.
If that had been the case. Like, I just would have been like, nah, can't do that. That's not for me. But it changed for me. Some people it doesn't ever, but I think people get that confused. I'm really glad that that's, you know, in there because everybody needs it. If nothing else, that alone is worth it all to me, in my opinion. So
it's actually not. It's the Thompson rule is actually not what's taught in this book, but it is foundational to
the principles.
Every networker business, without question. And you know, and here's the thing, like I mean, I've always said this, and I'm just gonna give you a shout out real quick. You know, you totally exemplify. The first time I heard your story, the first time Larry and I heard your story on Ray's stage, you know, to me, you totally embody everything positive about network marketing because you are the flagship, because it's the true statement of the average person's best chance. And if you can do it and overcome all the challenges and obstacles and hurdles that you had in your life and go out and change your life because you had a burning desire, right? Yeah. You had a willingness to do the work, and you were
willingness to follow directions of the people who'd already done it.
And that's the third thing, is being teachable. Those three things, whenever you bring those, Larry always taught me, if you can bring those three things to the table, then you can do whatever you want if you apply the concepts. And so, you know, you asked about what are they going to get from the book? You know, I would say probably my favorite thing out of this whole book is, I mean, and there's several of them. There's several life application skills, but one of my favorite ones is how to employ yourself. That's a big one. As an entrepreneur, everybody needs to know how to employ yourself.
Yeah.
And then probably the next one that parallels to that, and this is my personal, is we call it the mental projector. And it's what's, you know, if you don't like your life, if you don't like where your life is, you got to change the film in the projector. And a concept in here that those are just a couple. What would you say?
Well, and that's where and people.
I mean, there's a lot of them here, but I want to look at this here. I'm going to look it up here. I want to get it exactly. It is, but it really what it says is you're good enough as you are. How you came in. Okay, and how I came in and what my life was like and what your life was like. Okay, we were good enough with that. Okay, with where we were, we just had to find that right environment and that culture. It's you're enough. Go ahead, read it.
It's the name of the chapter is You're Enough. Demand the best of you.
Not the best of you. What the best that you got. And sometimes today, not very good, but tomorrow can change. As soon as that clock strikes 12:01, you got a new day in front of you, and you got to do the best that you can with life circumstances that's been delivered to you right now. And we can have all the best intentions, but I'm going to tell you, we can get one phone call, okay, from that one relative. We can get one phone call from somebody that needs their car broke down. We can get one phone call from the bill collector, and it just sets us in a spiral. But you got to do the best you can on today. the best you can with your circumstances.
Amen. Today. Focus today. Because people, I feel like it's easy to, the first day that you don't do it, the next day it's easier to give yourself less because you've already did it once.
Right.
I love that. Demand the best of you. Y'all, if you're taking notes, please write this down. Write it down. I want you to read it to yourself every day. I was told once, look at your day every day at the end of the day. Learn, like, what did you learn today that you can invest in tomorrow? And if you're demanding the best from yourself every day, you'll always be able to move something into the next day and get better. And when people are like, so, like, what, like, is it like competition? The only competition that there ever is for me is with me.
Yeah.
I want to be the best. I demand the best from me. I love that so much. I'm going to put it on my wall somewhere.
Well, you know, Michelle, I mean, like, look what you've had, the challenges that you've had to overcome just in the last few months.
Yes.
I mean, with your health and, you know, everything that you've been through. I mean, like, what a light you've been to so many people because, you know, you've had to walk that road. You've had to demand the best of what you can do in that moment and in that
moment. That's exactly. And sometimes, you know, I really, you know, everybody that watches this knows I sell makeup. I've not got nothing on my face. Like, there's times that the best is this right here.
Yeah.
But from the back end, everything's done. Okay. Like, and that's what it takes, whatever it is at the time. In these last few months, especially the beginning of the year, I was like 3 times, 4 times this size. I was swollen from head to toe and in pain so much that I couldn't even fully think straight. And to be in a place now where the pain is minimal and my biggest side effect at this point is either insomnia or I might forget something that I just thought of. I'm okay with that in comparison, but I've always, even then, it was the best. I demanded the best that I could do every day, no matter where I was on the spectrum.
Yeah.
And I know when we say that, and you just said that people think that they got to be their best. They got to be their best. You got to be
the best. Is always great.
At this moment, because you can be Superman today, but tomorrow you're Mighty Mouse. Okay, but you got to be the best Mighty Mouse that you can have. Do the best that you can. If the tire blew out on the freeway, no matter what it is of illness, no matter what it is with finances, life gives us circumstances every single day. And it has nothing to do with money, and it has nothing to do with anything else. We all get thrown life circumstances every day.
And it goes back to the thing you just said, Taylor. What was the words? I want you to say it again. The mindful, your mind. What was it?
The mental projector.
Yes, the mental projector. I've got to write that down too. But, I'm going to get the book. I ordered the book, but I don't have it. It comes tomorrow, and that is what I am giving away. So I want you to know that when you go to this website, you can stay in here and put it on the screen. I want you to know that the price is ridiculously silly. Okay, you can get it on Kindle. You can get it hardback. I did hardback just because it's easier to highlight and make my own, whereas Kindle, I can't do as much. I can't feel it, touch it, but that's me. Okay. But I'm going to give you somebody who shares this video or tags at least 3 friends in these comments. So if you share, comment that you've shared, and then or if you do both, tag 3 people and share, you'll get double the points. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys until Sunday to share as much as you want. You can share multiple times. Every 3 people counts for a new entry if you tag them. And I'll give you till Sunday, and I'll have my person come count them all up, send me the names, and somebody's going to get one for free. I may even give away 2. But I want you to have this. I want it to be in your possession. I think all of you know that I would never bring a person How many people have you saw me bring to you? Truly, how many? And they know that it's not very many. It's like I brought Lisa, I've Ray, and y'all. The end.
And they're all in the book.
And yeah, but it's because I know where your heart is, and I know what it can do for other people if they're just willing to take that one step. You know what I mean? Just take the step. Just go look.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Go watch facebook.com/Larry and Taylor. If you just go there, their latest video, all the people that, well, not all, but a lot of the contributors that are in the book are on one video together, and it's just incredible. So if you don't just take my word for it, go watch that, okay? But I encourage you to check it out for you, right? Because they're not,
And
they're not.
And if I can add one thing,
you're not going to die without it, but you might not change your life without it. And that's just being real.
Yeah.
it's so real. It's so real. And if I can add one thing to the thing that was really because I did all the interviews of the contributors that added to the story, that were proteges that started with Larry, back in the 80s, that started actually as Herbalife distributors and started with Millionaire Training, that really gave them the briefcase of skills, right? These were all people that started with, from all of their stories. And then whenever Herbalife hit their controversy back in 1985, whenever they, there was regulatory, then there was too much people making too much money. I mean, all the stuff that we see now was back then. Yeah. And there was 100,000 distributors that left Herbalife overnight because you think about bad press.
Yeah.
In that time, the USA Today was saying their products were killing babies.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
So,
and that's the media. Like, that's what they're doing now, even, is trying to scare the hell out of somebody. Let's just be real. So, yeah. I mean, they've been good for it forever.
But what after doing these interviews, Michelle, what was so really cool about it, and I go back to, there was a lot of coaching, and there was not a lot of teaching or training. This is what they had, was Millionaire Training, right? And so the common thread between all of these stories, and what you're going to find whenever you see their stories from all these different, number one, all these various companies, is that they were students. They became students of these principles, and principles never change.
Right. That's what I was fixing to say. So you say 40 years, I know, but I was just fixing to say that. So keep going with that thought.
So here's what I'm going to say. So all that are watching, here's what I'm going to tell you and encourage you. If you whenever you get this book, please know, as you study through this book, it won't matter whatever company or whatever product or service you market. This will, whatever your current strategy is that you're implementing to build your team, if you learn these principles, right, it will only make what you're currently doing work better. That's the key. That's the key. It will only enhance what you're doing.
And who doesn't want that? For me, I look around a lot, and sometimes they just like, I don't feel, everybody's like, I don't know, I get these messages, thank you, or you're so inspiring, and it's like, you have access to the same thing I do. You know what I mean? You have the access to the same thing I do. Only difference is I will implement so fast. I will get it. I will learn it. I will implement it, and it'll be something that I do so fast. And most will get it. They may read it, or they may go through it. They may not. If they do, they may not implement it at all. And this is one time that I really, really, really hope that if you are one of those habitual learners that I was at the beginning, I mean, I get it. Please, if there's nothing else you ever implement, do this. Do this. As you learn the things inside the book, implement them.
Yes.
Because if you do that, everything can change for you. You
Yes.
just have to be willing to follow the directions of someone who's basically built the foundation for this entire industry.
Yes.
Like if you look around, like they're legends. This isn't a joke. This wasn't hype. My description wasn't, just to get you to click. No, these people have built they're legends. They've built legacies for themselves. Their names they've helped enough people, and that ripple effect. Can you even imagine? And they want to help you.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what it amounts to. And you can use it to create your own legacy.
Yes.
Yes.
And it'll just keep rippling down. And that's the power of it. That's the power.
You said something really amazing, Michelle, and that's this. Jim Rohn always said, what's easy to do is easy not to do.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And you're right. And we talk about this in the book. The only variable is you. You are the only variable in the equation, right? So no matter what, it's like Larry said, whenever they said other people are making money, well, if other people can do it, why not you? You are the only variable.
Bingo. That's it. Why not
You
you?
don't have to get taller, and you don't have to get shorter, and you don't have to get younger, and you don't have to get older. You're okay as you are.
Yep. I mean, I sell makeup, and I got a gap in my teeth. I don't know how to really even do it. Look at my hair. Anybody, it doesn't matter what it is. You just got to be willing to say, okay, well, I might look a little funny, but I can learn. Anybody can learn.
I adore you.
Yes, I do.
I adore you. So, and that's
I
what
love you.
I just adore you, and I just appreciate you so much. You were this is the very reason why you were the very first interview that I did in the She Network.
She made a point of that.
Very,
And
very.
I'm so honored. I didn't know that I was the first. I mean, I thought I did. And then I must have lost it. And then you said that, and I'm like, oh, wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was the reason.
and that's something else. I'm a founding circle member, but for all of my team, all my female friends, if you've never checked out She Network, the She Network, you need to go to myshenetwork.com. Look at it. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Yep. And go to the group too. Like we have a great Facebook group too.
Oh yeah, it's big now. I knew it would be too.
So we are super excited. We're so thankful that you had us on here to share with your team. And Michelle, if you let us know who your drawing is, like we will match what you give.
Oh, awesome. Okay. You hear that? She will match it. They will match it. So y'all, you have the opportunity. One, you have the opportunity to share this with someone else. If you, for some reason, you can't, get it right now or whatever, you can share and have the chance to get it.
Yes.
You have the chance to help somebody else and also potentially help yourself if you do nothing but that. And it's free to do that. So why not help another human? But I mean, really though, let's talk about what $25 is. Okay. You probably spend that in a day at the fast food place. If if you read the whole book and there's one page,
Yes.
and that's not going to be true, but for $25 and that one page changes your whole world.
Yes.
Is it not worth it? I feel like I really got to say this because $25, I feel like it's not a lot. So people think, well, maybe it's not as, listen, trust me, you want to do this? I recommend it or I wouldn't. And I'm not getting paid to say this. I don't make a penny. I do not make a penny. So just to be clear, this is just 100% me being real with you, and you know I don't have any other way. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming. I can't wait till we can see you in person. I'll let you know on the books, and I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you so much for your time. We did go over it. Sorry.
No worries.
No worries at all.
Thank you
it's a
so
pleasure to be
much.
here
It was
with you
such
and
a
your
pleasure.
community.
Thank you so much for having us. We appreciate you. Mwah, mwah.
Bye-bye.
If I can do it, maybe not. They're like, lady, you're not